What is up, guys? Breakers here with a new video, and today we got one of the most hyped heroes of the upcoming season to test on the Pioneer server. It is of course Elijah and Layla, the upcoming Celestial heroes. I already got a ton of questions about those two before I even had any opportunity to test them. The most asked question was probably, Wraec, who should I summon? Should I go for Fresto? Or should I go for Elijah and Layla? And of course, before there is any kind of release, you can't really answer that question. I recommend it to most, granted how short the time is until their release, that they should just keep their Stellar Crystals for the moment and wait. But now we have an opportunity to test like a pre-version on the Pioneer server, because this is on the Pioneer server. Keep in mind, everything that is on the Pioneer server might change to the release version. So if you see an ability right now that you really like, it might no longer be there. So this is good to get like an idea of a hero. Usually they stay the same unless there is something really broken, but stuff might change, and that is something you have to know. On the battlefield, and I just want to hop like into some battle and give you an idea of the abilities. They are really two heroes in a sense, not the same way as like Fresto. With Fresto and the copy, we really have two heroes that have two separate HP bars, two separate energy bars, cast their ults separate from each other. This is not the same case with Elijah and Layla. Elijah and Layla share the same HP bar, share the same energy bar. And to compensate for that, because if you have two heroes on the board that can both be hit, well, AoE could hit them both at the same time, they have a 35% HP boost to compensate for all of that. Then on the battlefield they create this link, and we see it right here. It is only created in a straight line. So if I now move, for example, Elijah, which is the one with the blue hair, by the way, one tile away, we see now none of our heroes is in the link anymore. And interesting part is, even if we move our Odie to this tile, which is clearly crossed by this path, he's not in the bond in there, because we can see he's not glowing at all. So if we move all of that back, we can see our heroes are now in that bond. Well, what does that do? That grants them a ton of buffs actually, because Elijah and Layla are support heroes. Support heroes, magic, 6 range, which is kinda true, kinda a bit of a lie. We'll see that in a second. So the signature ability from AFK Arena is back, basically granting a ton of haste. They can dance and grant a ton of haste. The buff lasts for like 9 seconds, and the good thing is, I noticed, well, 9 seconds is kinda enough for them to go for back-to-back ults. Very often actually. So you could keep that haste buff up for a long time, which we love. This is very, very great. On top of that, we already saw the Stellar Bond, which is a very, very long ability. They can get some attack buffs right here, and then we have an active part of this where they grant some energy. Energy like pretty low, 30, and this is like on a 12-second cooldown. So not super great, but nice. Small heal is in there as well. So not too bad. They actually have many abilities that like work with this bond. There's some blind there, we have some CC. They have some extra haste that they can get through this, and then we have the Starbound Harmony, which is a little bit crazy. If the allies, excluding Elijah and Layla, linked through Stellar Bond, all belong to the same faction, a special resonance effect is triggered, and then we get like extra 10 vitality, and we increase their energy gained by 10%. And once the resonance active, Stellar Bond can be permanently enhanced after all linked allies have used their ultimate. And then we get to the crazy part, and this is what you need to know. When enhanced, allies regain 10% of the energy cost of each ultimate cast. So basically, the ults are 10% cheaper to cast. That is another way to look at it. And that means you get more ults, obviously. You get more ults. Later on you can enhance that to 15%, or they are 15% cheaper. So you can get more ults out of the same heroes, which is pretty crazy. So let's take a look at this boss fight, by the way, against the new Dream Realm boss. Fairly nice. Lucia, we know her from the base story. Fairly interesting. She actually switches sides during the battle. We had some moving heroes already. But I don't think like switching entirely to our side is something that has happened before, or that we have seen. We see the bond, we see them dancing, now they grant their haste buff, and the bond is actually then strengthened. You can see it glows a whole lot more during the duration of this active skill. I was looking for it like for some duration or something. It's a little bit unclearly worded, we could say. And also note that once the that is Layla, I think, when she gets energy from Roan, the energy bar of Elijah, who's currently a cat, also increases. And the other thing to note, I already said, well, the 6 range magic damage dealer thing is kind of a lie. Why is that? Well, while Elijah is indeed, well, 6 range as far as I can see it, and seems to deal magic damage, well, Layla is kind of more of a melee hero. We can see her right there, running straight up to the bosses, and that is what she will continue to do. She will now run right back over. Well, she will do the ult first, but then she will run right back over and go into 1 range, which is quite different to what you might initially think when looking at the hero. So we have quite a big difference over there. With the heroes, we have 1 ranged hero and 1 melee hero in the same bond. And if you remember before, I said they share the same HP bar. So now, I mean, you kind of have a little bit of a problem. You have a melee hero that shares the HP bar with a ranged hero. The ranged hero is likely not a problem, he will stay out of harm. But the melee hero, of course, in an AFK stage fight, then in tough fight, like pushing for the top stages or something, well, we are looking at a support hero here, not necessarily a tank in terms of stats. And, well, Layla will run right to the enemy. So that is a little bit of a problem if we compare that to like a Fresto. So we can't really use her for tanking or use those twins for tanking, but they have enormous support power. Interestingly enough, I was a little bit confused by the stats that they gain through their weapon. This is like the exclusive equipment. It's very important. You want to have it as +15, I reckon, to get the extra ults. It doesn't really have this ability like on other heroes where you kind of want to go for one singular ability. Like, for example, when we check out Fresto and you check out his abilities, then we have like some damage increases, and then suddenly, okay, he summons a new illusion in front of himself if the previous illusion is defeated, and you see that and think like, okay, cool, that is like the thing of him, and that is the reason I upgrade him to +15. Like, that is not really the thing. You don't really unlock a new ability, because the energy recovery stuff, we already have that here. When enhanced allies regain 10% of their energy cost for each ultimate cast, and this is only an enhancement to that. A very massive one. 50% enhancement, going to 15% right here, which is probably very much so worth it. And I expect some ultimate spam builds in the next season. But nonetheless, interestingly enough, only an enhancement to his previously existing ability. So we have no ability here that is like a unique unlock. And that is not the only interesting thing. I forgot about this stat. We have like the stat assistance in here, which I cannot really show there. Okay, we will show it in the stats. And I kind of forgot that this even exists. I had to check, honestly had to check in the rivalry stats for a second, because I thought, did they remove inspiration and intimidation and added this assistance thing? No. Okay. And then I checked, and yeah, I found that this is like a regular stat. Every point of assistance increases the buff duration of most buffs, which is of course great on buffers like this, because we have 15 assistants on those, and you want to upgrade the weapon to get them, because the weapon gives you 15 assistants. For that, to get the full 15, you have to upgrade it at least to +8, which will be the point you definitely want to go for, but I wholeheartedly recommend to go to +15 as well. So, that is one perspective to this. There is a very interesting thing also as Supreme Plus for those. Elijah and Layla increase the attack, fist def and magic def of each ally linked through Stellar Bond. The increases are equal to 10% of the highest stats among the linked allies. So you can basically distribute 10% of the highest stats of your linked allies, like let's say a Harak or something. You get as a buff on your other heroes, which is pretty cool. Because there are some arenas where you can make like a stupid big link and can do like an insane chain there. We'll take a look at this in a second. I wanted to show you like the Supreme Plus version. For PvP, we're now going to go for Paragon 4, because we're on the Pioneer server. By now everybody has Paragon 4. And maybe we'll see some people that are like, that didn't enhance it. I hope we fight some people that have Paragon 4. But I will make that possible, no worries about that. So let's now take a look at a few interesting things. Okay, starting off, we have Dunlinger team. We fight here with Lily May, completely Paragon 4. What we are going to put against this is basically this team, but with a slight twist. We are, of course, going to include the teams in this Harak team, because I love Harak teams and twins work in Harak teams, so perfect. Okay, now other PvP maps, however, it is notoriously difficult to actually place them in a way where you get a bond. In this case, we wanted to do the Harak bond, but I want to give you some examples. Like, if you want to have Harak in the last slot to, for example, activate Enlightening spell, you will have a very tough time actually doing that, because you have to cross like the tile on which he's on with either one of the twins, so either one of the twins will always kind of be behind him or on the same level, which is a bit of a problem. So it didn't really work out. For most tiles, it is even tough to get any kind of link going here. I now placed them like this. Of course, had to remove the Enlightening spell, making us more vulnerable to actually getting attacked by CC attacks. So we'll have to see about that. He is using Confining spell. Can kind of go like this, maybe. Have to see. Okay, and yeah, we will just try and see what happens here. No triple speed, and thank you, that's the Pioneer server bug. I always love to set up a team entirely and then get the insta-win. Yeah, that is a current bug on Pioneer, sadly. Yeah, that was fun. That was what I waited for. There is a full Paragon 4 team. I mean, this is kind of pretty similar. It's interesting. We see two different versions of the Harak team. And let me quickly set up a team. Okay, this time without Ludo and Scalita, but I thought it would be fancy to go like Thor and Rainier. We get like the full comp here because we have all allies of the same faction. In this link we have 4 links plus those two, so that's pretty fancy. But I like, yeah, I always tend to miss a hero now with those two somehow. Because I always think like, okay, you have enough heroes, and then I notice, no, it's not quite the same. We can use Scalita indeed. We can use Scalita. So let's see the battle here, and let's hope we can actually fight. Okay, we can actually fight. Harak, of course, instantly going in there. We have the bond active. Damage there on the twins, still kinda alright. Get the dance, very great. Okay, nice haste boost. Let's see what the damage is, because we have to get some kills here on the Harak, otherwise this will not be a very nice fight. Get the ult counted on the Rainier. But very quickly, actually, check that out, We have to rewatch that, but check this out, how quickly that Rainier actually recovered his ult. And ending up here on a pretty clear victory overall. Still with the Thorin alive, with the Harak alive. Our twins kinda died. I mean, the end card really doesn't do them justice. Most of their stuff is buffs, so like, how would they display in here? They don't really, shall not really tank. They don't really do any damage, because like, yeah, it's not really anything in here. Don't even know, like, if there is any damage ability. Yeah, like here, we have a little bit, I think, dealing a little bit of damage. So we can deal a little bit of damage with some blind, but it's not really worth mentioning. Let's rewatch that, because that was fairly interesting, especially the Rainier getting countered on the ult and basically instantly recovering that. That was certainly strong. We see Harak getting countered, but the link wasn't active at that point, so there was no energy recovery. Now we should have that. I think that is the golden glow here. Counter. Okay, got counted. See that? See? And now he's over half ult again. That was like 2 seconds afterwards. That is insane. I wonder if that's going to do harm to like the Lily May meta. Because if heroes can that instantly get their ult back, that could be a problem. Now on the other hand, what did Lily May counter? Like Lily May countered like Iron teams. Lily May countered those insta-ult teams. This was like where Lily May was really strong, and then just putting her into a fight, having a huge source of true damage, invulnerability, unaffected, and like in general a very, very exciting full package of a hero. I think that was like her main thing mostly. Okay, with 907k here. Bonnie team, well, let's take a look at that. Could be horrible for the twins actually. Okay, we take the Bonnie out, we don't want the Fresto. We can do a little bit of... I mean, like getting the link here. Ooh, if I want to get the teleport with Rainier, that just doesn't work. And you can't really get a good link either. Or can you? Oh, you can. Or can... Wait, let's try that. Because that is always like the issue here. That is always the issue. Can we do this? Is this a link? This is a link. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we found the link over here. So it is indeed once again possible for us to go Rainier if we want that, and get a teleport, and we can Do we do the range twin? Because that is the boy, that is the range twin. Then we have the melee twin. I mean, linking Thorin isn't really going to do much for us, isn't it? So maybe the ranged one's going to be a little bit better on there. For now we only have 3 heroes, so we can select 2 more. I kind of want to go in with the tank. I'll be honest, I think like this. And then probably going with Skalita. And as we can't really... Is it worth going in lightning? I mean, probably, right? I mean, we can still go on the twin with the lightning, get the ult a little bit faster. Maybe that is pretty cool, actually. Maybe that is fairly interesting. That's something we can try. We'll move the Skalita. No, that is a dumb idea. I can move her over here. So that is an interesting link that we get here. And we'll take a look at some arenas over there. So, did I miss anything? Okay, we instantly attack the Bonnie. That is not too bad. Okay, we switched over to Lily May. Countered the ult of our Thorin. Very, very nice. Going into the Elijah ult. Now we got like the full stuff on the Harak. And the good thing with the Harak is faster ults. Faster ults. Look at the energy. We get the energy instantly back. We saw it a second ago. Instant. Bam. Did you see that? And that is the crazy part. That is the crazy part. And now, imagine, and I show you something that I don't think I have seen yet. I see many people talk. Probably some of you are going to hate this when I show this. We can still lose this, by the way. Come on. Ah, no, she has one more. She has one more. Thorin, insta-ult, insta-ult, insta-ult. Insta-ult is unaffected. Okay. Yeah, against Stasi is always horrible. Insane damage. We got some nice buffs, a little bit of tankiness. Worked out fairly well. I like the team. I like putting her in there. That works so well. It's like such a nice synergy. But I show you something stupid. Like, it's a bit of a whale tool to go with Elijah and Layla. But the thing is, one part of inspiration, energy gains. So, like, extra energy gains. And if we then have, like, the Mythic Plus, where we get 15% of every one of our ult bags, and we have, like, the increased energy returned, that could be crazy. That could be crazy, like, if we fight with an advantage there, you know? We fight with an advantage, get the energy gain bonus, and then we can cast, like, back-to-back ult. It's not like it matters too much, it's like, we are winning already, so now we have overkill. So it doesn't really change anything in the meta. If you fight with Paragon 4 against Paragon 2, we are winning. But it's like a win more strategy, I think. Do we have an opportunity to fight somebody that has like something set? What did Techie set up? He's probably experimenting. I don't know. We can try it. If he has something low set up, we can try it. Oh, of course not, he's experimenting. And look at that. Like, he made something similar. Is that linked? Is she in there? She's in there. That is not too smart, isn't it? Isn't that blocking his own Harak? It should block his own Harak. Okay, but I just wanted to fight with an advantage. What did Danger Grey do? Fellow YouTuber Danger Grey. Always doing, well, no PvP apparently, but a ton of stuff on the new season. He made like already some lore stuff I saw. So definitely check out Danger Grey, definitely recommend that. Paragon 2, there we go, I set up a team. Okay, set it up a bit weirdly. We're now fighting Paragon 2 with Paragon 4. I hope he can stay alive long enough. Because I want to see like the Ult-Recovery, you know? If he can't stay alive long enough, that's a problem. I avoided the Chaos Relation tile. That is something we don't want to see. Okay, we need to get like an ult on Elijah. Getting twined there is also an interesting thing. We can look at that. Okay, now we have the Ult-Recovery. So now I want to see how that looks like. We do an ult here, Thorin. Okay, isn't in the link. Rainier did an ult. I think we have to rewatch that. I definitely missed at least one of those. Harak maybe? Harak? Come on, do an ult. Oh, there's nobody there. Oh, we already basically won. Come on, do an ult. No! Skalita. Straight across the map. I didn't see it. I didn't see the energy recovery, which is a bit sad. Okay, let's watch the let's just watch for the ult. Okay, we get the Elijah and Layla ult, which is cool, and now the one should be active. We do an ult there with Wraec, and okay, that's like 80% of an ult instantly back. Yeah, okay. Cool ability. I think that is the ability that people are going to look at, that people are going to focus on, that people are going to say, okay, that is what defines those heroes, and that is what we want to use on them, and that is also why people go for them. And there are other people that will go for them because of, well, mini Elijah and Layla. So that's the thing. Am I fully convinced by them? Is this like the super new selection for you to go in for instead of Presto, the #1 first Paragon hero to go for? I think Presto is still the better choice for the majority of people for the start. Just generally does good in all game modes, will carry you through AFK stages, and just isn't really too reliant. We relied a lot on the power of Wraec right here, supporting other heroes, and that is just the case of support heroes. Like, it doesn't really take a major role itself in the game, but makes it possible for other heroes to shine. And that is what they did. So really going for support hero first, I'm not too sure of. I'm not too sure of that is a good thing. They have a one range weakness, which is they are 2. For Presto, that is a strength, because they don't, the Presto copies don't share the HP pool. They do. So for them, it's a problem. If they get countered, both get countered. So it's not like, oh, Elijah casts the ult and then, well, everything is great. If Elijah casts the ult and Lily make counters, their energy is gone. So that's the thing. They have to share the same HP pool, so if you run into an Iron team and both get pulled together and Carolina hits them, they are very likely going to be gone fairly fast. So, because both are getting hit, obviously. And you can profit from that as well. I haven't really gotten to do that though, and that is something that is a bit annoying. Because one is ranged, one is melee. I wanted to, like, feed both energy with Roan at the initial fight that we saw in Dream Realm. You really have a hard time doing this if you have a 6 ranged damage dealer or a 6 ranged hero and a melee type hero. They are on the completely opposite side of the battlefield, if you see that. So that is a bit of a problem as well. Do I like the abilities? I like the abilities. I like the haste bonus. I like the buffs that we get. I haven't seen anything of this, I don't know. Yeah, okay, some shield, cool. Extra haste, I love this part. Extra energy gain, this energy gain stuff. I think if something's going to be meta, if something is going to be broken, if something's going to be insane, it's going to be this. But it's not going to change what you do with the heroes at the start. And one more thing I wanted to show, because I saw this and found this was like really fancy. I don't know if I can show this here if we have the map. Yeah, it's this one. You're probably already, oh no, I saved this, I didn't want to save this. You already get the idea. The thing is, what you can do here, you can go ahead and you can place the twins and you can get your entire team in there. Because this is one long row. The Arena 5 special, the new upcoming arena, is one long row. So that is fairly fancy. I mean, is it super good? No, not really, but we can go like this, for example. Which is really stupid, but we could do it. Could put those in the link, and then maybe we just go with Rainier or something who can also go into the link, and suddenly it looks like this. I mean, this is stupid, but it's also fancy. So now we have a 4 Hypergen hero link with the twins. So that is the last thing that I wanted to show you guys. Tell me your opinion about it down below. As I said, is a tough one. We have to test her in detail when she is really like on my account. I think it's the same as like Dundling, a super powerful ability that shines there, and then you have to see, is it really applicable? Can we put it into a team? Can it work? Wraec team, however, looked great. I'm a bit convinced at least. So with that, I hope you're also already subscribed to the channel, and if not, that's also okay, but I always appreciate it, and I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.